Alright guys, I'm picking up where I left off. Alright, so I've got this DAT file and I've got this text file here. Alright, so that's great and that's wonderful, but how do I read this information back? Well, I can call the load content function. Now this function basically does the same thing. It says this creates a file, it basically like grabs all the protocols for opening and stuff, but I'm just going to say it creates a file. Then this is going to open the file for reading purposes. So the first one was opening it for writing. The second one's opening it for reading. So we're opening this file at this place with this current name.dat. Okay. Then it says file.get as text. This basically says open the file and read the information. After you read the information, store it into this content variable and then close the file. Return just basically means send the info back. So if we open up this information on, let's say, this line here, let's go ahead and call this. We'll say print this. I'm printing it because I want to show you what's in there. So I'm going to say print load content. Alright, so now if I run this, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to create a file that says my first dat file. It's actually going to create it, or let's change this back to dat, like that. Alright, so it's going to create a .dat file, and then it's going to store the information as a string, and then after it does that, it's going to load the content and print out what it did. So now if I run this, you'll see that it actually prints out my first dat file. And then if I go back to this data folder, you'll see that I have the text document again. Alright, I'm going to delete this one. Alright, well, you showed us, Mr. Eversole, you showed us this test location thing here where I can choose a different location. What is this? How do I use it? Alright, good question. Let's do that. So what I'll say is, instead of using this default location, you could change the location to, let's say, your desktop. So I can just grab this right here, or I could let me grab this variable here. We'll say instead of using that, we're going to use this plus let's say I'll call this save file. Let's do save file.txt. I might actually have to put another forward slash on this. I think I do. So I'm gonna. Oh, is that even the right spot? Let me go check my directory again. Test directory. Here's my directory right there. So that's the one I actually want to use. Like this. And I think I actually might have to put another forward slash in there. We'll try it without it, and then if it works, then we'll keep going. So here's my test location, the one I'm choosing. Test dir. I put that right there, and I'm adding in the name of the file. And let's see if it works. I want it to write my first dat file. Actually, I want it to my first text file. Alright, let's see if this works. Run it. I'm not seeing much of anything here. So let's go take a look at my test directory. Did not work. Okay, so let me go ahead and add that other forward slash right there. Alright, let's try it again. Run. There we go. Much better. Alright, so there we go. I have a text file in a different location, like on my desktop. And you could change that to any location you would like on your computer. And then the same thing goes with reading that file. If you were going to read that file, you would change this information down here. It would need to match, obviously, if you're going to read it. Now, if you tried to read the file and it wasn't there, it's obviously going to give you an error, and it's not going to work. Alright, so we should see my first text file right there. And it created it in that location on my desktop. In this test dir right here. Save text file. Okay, well, Mr. Eversole, that's all great. That's fine. Let's make this thing work where I can actually save my spot. Okay. Alright, so you can not only just save strings, you can also save things like variables, like this global variable right here that we're trying to mess with. So right here it says store as a string. I'm going to change this back to a .dat file. And I am also going to use my local storage for both of these. Okay, so instead of storing a string of content, I want to save this global dictionary here. So what I'm going to say is, instead of .file save content, I want to do let's erase this, .store variable. The variable that I'd like to store is that guy right there. And I might even want to, I might call this save game progress. Save game progress, like that. I'll comment this out. Alright. Now I'm also going to need to load game progress. So I'm going to change this load. Instead of load content, we'll call this load game progress. I'm also going to change this. I like capital letters. I should have made them capital to begin with. So we have save game progress. I don't need this content thing in here, so I'll get this. And then load game progress. Now, the difference with this load game progress, I want to go to the file and I want to get a variable. So I'll say get, let's see, it should be down here near the bottom. Get a variable. And instead of putting it into the content, I want to put it in back into this level dictionary here. Like so. And I don't need to return anything this time because I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. Okay, so let me write some comments here for this. This saves the global this saves the level info dictionary. And this reloads, this loads the level dictionary. Like that. Okay, well, how do we know that this worked? Well, let's give it a shot. Let's run it. Let's call the save game progress first. So right here I'll say save game progress, and I'll run this. Now you don't really see anything happen, but let's go take a look in the app data here. So I'll go to open user data. There's my DAT file. Remember, I can't double click it, but I can do edit with notepad. and then you should see a bunch of information here. Now it looks like a bunch of gobbledygook here for a lot of it, but the computer recognizes this information. It's writing in there what it needs in order to make the variable work appropriately. So, but you can see some smattering of remnants that you probably recognize in there. Okay. Now, let's make the game actually save. So remember, this is a global script, so I can get to this information by calling the game info saves. So anytime I want this game to save, I need to call the save game progress function. Okay, so let's go, and then anytime I load the game or I play the game again, I need to load the game progress. Let's go to the global variables here, and in the ready function, basically when the game turns on, I need to load the progress. So let's say here, we'll say game info saves dot load game progress. This will read the game file to get last save information. Okay, now anytime we get to a new level, that's probably when we want to write this new information to the game. So let's see, where do I have that at? I have it somewhere here. Level completed. We could probably do the save right there. Anytime a level's completed, we probably want to save our content. So let's say global variables, not global variables, it's like global saves, isn't it? What did I call it? Let's see, game info save. So we'll say game info saves dot save game progress. This saves the level dictionary. Alright, let's see if this works. I haven't actually tested it yet, but it should work. Alright, so we don't see anything written here. Let's go ahead and play. Let's get to, I don't know, level 2 maybe. Yeah, I guess we have to get to at least level 2 for it to save. Alright, we are on level 2. Let's go ahead and kill our character. So we'll hit quit, practice. Now you can see I have a level 2 unlocked. I'm going to close the game, and now I'm going to reopen the game. I'm going to click on practice. Oof, it did not work. I wonder why that is. Game info saves. I'm going to pause this right quick. Okay, I figured out the one error, but I found another one. Okay, so the reason why it didn't save is this only plays after you complete a level. You want to do it anytime the level changes. So basically this would make it where you actually have to complete a level to get back to it, which I guess is fine. We want to do new level started. I think that's when we want to actually save this. So I'm going to move this one from here to new level started. New level started right here. So I'll put it right there. Anytime you start a new level, we'll make it where it saves. Alright, so that should work now. I did play it again to figure out what happened, but here we go. So, here we go, play. So if I go to practice, I have my level 2 here. If you close it, it still has the level 2. But let's get to level 3, and I'll show you that it actually saves it. So here we go, level 1. And level 2. Okay, so now I should have access to level 3. Okay, let's die right quick. Well, if I hit quit, you can see I can get to level 3. If I close the game and then reopen it, I should still have access to level... Oof. It's just one thing after another. New level started. Why did that not work? That's stupid. Alright, we'll try again. I wonder if going to the next level... Maybe I have to beat the level. It shouldn't be that way, though. I wonder what I did wrong. Okay, so let me beat this level too. See if it actually saves it if I beat it. Okay, let's beat the level. Okay, let's see if that did it. Kill myself real quick. Quit, practice, level 4. Let's see what that does. Close it, reopen it. It remembers 3. I don't know why it's only going to if you beat the level. New level started. I'll pause it one more time. Okay, I'm gonna worry less about this. That's how it works. It's obviously a logic error in my game or whatever, but let's take a look one more thing here real quick. If I'm gonna cause an error to happen in this right quick, which you probably already have, but you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But let's go to the data here. If I remove this file, so now there's no information for this thing to load. So this game right here, it's gonna try and load the file, but the file doesn't exist because I just deleted it. So if I hit play, it's gonna immediately crash because it tried to load the file and there was no information for it to load the information into this dictionary. So basically this dictionary just got wiped out because I ran this file. Alright, so we don't want that to happen. We want it to where if there's no file here, we don't want to try to read from it. So what we can do to fix that, let's go to this info saves here. This is where I did this, and we're going to check to see, save game progress. We don't want to do that either. Okay, we're going to want to check and make sure that the file actually exists before we try and actually save to it. If it does, before we try to read from it, actually. Maybe we do want to save the progress. No, we don't. We want to check and see if the file actually exists before we try to load from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this thing where I say, where am I at here? Let's do if we'll say if file dot file exists, and we're checking to see if this file exists. If the file exists, then we want to read from it. Else, error will print could not find the file. Okay, so when we try to load the game, when it immediately tries to load, if there's no file there, it's going to print the file could not be found, and then it won't crash our game anymore. So right there, it could not find the file, therefore it didn't crash our game. Let's play again. If I hit practice, I can get to this mode, and then you should see a new file actually created now. Yeah. So there's the file now. The file does exist, and it can read it. So there's a lot of like ins and outs to being able to read and write to certain files. Really important to check and see if the file exists at all. If the file doesn't exist, you obviously can't load a variable full of information. If you do load it, it's going to load it empty, and then your game's going to not work because your variables doesn't exist. So that's why I printed out could not find file. Alright, I bet you anything this is going to work now. So if I go to play, actually let's take a look at the practice thing first. So practice, it has no saves here. Alright, so let's go ahead and play. I'm going to collect these coins. I'm going to get to the next level. I'll kill myself. Like this. Quit. Now you can see second level. Hopefully, fingers crossed. This should have a second level already. No, it doesn't. It's only saving when you beat the second level. It's obviously something I've done. Let's beat the second level. Sorry this video is so long. It's just loading and reading files. I'm not super great at it. Okay, let's do this. Let me kill my guy. Quit. I can get to level 3. Let's play this again. 2. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely a logic error in my game. It's probably somewhere where I put that saving feature. I needed to save in a different location. Anyway, that's how this works. This is a very useful feature for the game. We'll work on this more throughout the week. Y'all have a great video, or y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.